How about now? All right, now it's working. Yeah, I don't know why. It literally it just took off my sound. Like literally took the whole input away. Oh, that's today. That's my day, you know? Actually, today's been a really good day. I don't go live on Sundays, pretty much ever. I have to. There was a tremendous amount of stuff that has happened in the past 24 hours, crimes and whatever across the United States, that if I try to do it all tomorrow during tomorrow's show, I won't have enough time. So I have to start talking about some of the things that happened last night. There's been mass shootings across the United States, just like every other weekend. 8 mass shootings, 3 people dead, over 35 injured. So far, they haven't even updated today's tallies because the day is only halfway done, right? There's been 4 mass shootings today alone across the United States. You're not really going to hear about them. What you are hearing about is vehicle attacks because there's been a number of them in the past couple of days. Yesterday, a 24-year-old man named... well, boy, I don't even know. Adrian Oswaldo Sura Reyes. He apparently drove his car into a crowd of people that were paying. It was a fundraiser for a vicious fire that killed 10 people, including three children. This guy drove his car through this crowd of people, killing 1, injuring 17 others, 12 of which are in serious condition at the hospital. He then left the scene there in the vehicle, crashed again, got out with a hammer and beat a woman to death. Some random woman. And it's just, and the media is talking. Apparently he reported the woman was police believe that the same 24-year-old man is behind the Lucerne County assault that led to the death of a woman shortly after the crash. A local outlet, Press Enterprise, reported that the woman was the suspect's mother. He reportedly argued with her before fatally beating her to death with a hammer. Police did get there as he was killing her and apparently arrested him. Someone else just said in the chat that he's suspected of setting the fire that killed all those people before. I really don't know. If that's the case, and this dude killed 12 people in the course of a week and injured, dozens others. This was in Berwick, Pennsylvania, not even a big town. But apparently the fundraiser was for victims of a fire that killed 10 in Nesopik. I don't know how you say that, last week. And it was thrown into chaos on Saturday in Berwick when a driver plowed into the crowd, killing 1 person, wounding 17 others. Shortly after, police in neighboring Luzerne County received a call about a man assaulting a woman. When they arrived, they found the woman dead, and the man, identified as Adrian Oswaldo Suras Reyes, was taken into custody. Police believe Mr. Reyes was responsible for the Berwick crash as well as the death of the woman in Lucerne County, who was reported to be his mother. State troopers arrested Reyes of Nesopek, so he lives in the same town where that massive fire was, in the mass casualty crash in Columbia's Berwick County on Saturday evening. Police believe that the same 24-year-old man is behind the county assault that led to the death of a woman. We already talked about that. State Trooper Anthony Petrosky told the press that several people who had joined a fundraiser for the families of the 10 people who died in the fire were hit by a car. The person who did this heinous crimes tonight is in custody right now, he told reporters outside the state police station. The Columbia County coroner, James Reese, told Eyewitness News that one person, a 50-year-old woman, was dead at the crash scene. Her identity is being held or withheld pending family notifications. Out of the 17 people injured in the crash, 12 were taken to the medical. Well, yeah, they were all taken to the medical centers all across the country. In Danville on Saturday night, 4 people were in critical condition, 3 were in fair condition, and 5 were still undergoing evaluation, the paper reported. One of those taken to Wyoming Valley has been treated and released. Mr. Petrosky said the crime scenes are both very active and there's a lot of moving parts in both investigations. Not long after the crash, which took place around 6 p.m. yesterday, Pennsylvania police got a call concerning a man who was assaulting a woman. When they got to that scene, they found a woman dead and Mr. Reyes, who had apparently been detained by municipal police. He faces 2 counts of criminal homicide, according to authorities. He's currently being held in Columbia Correctional Facility, and bail has been denied. The police did not confirm if the crash into the crowd was intentional. If he does have links to this fire, I would say, well, and matter of fact, yes, I would say with 100% certainty that this crash was intentional without even knowing any of the facts. The dude beat some woman to death with a hammer minutes after that. You know what I mean? It's insane. That wasn't the only vehicle attack last night. There's one that you're not going to hear about on the news at all in Chicago. People were fighting in the middle of the street. I think it was actually early this morning when a car plowed them down, killing 3, putting 1 in critical condition and injuring another person. You're not going to see that. You will see the video if you're on TikTok or Twitter. If you're on Twitter, you'll see the video, the gruesome video. There's surveillance video showing it, and then there's eyewitness video, someone in a car that watched as this guy, or girl, whoever was in this vehicle, plowed into this group of people that were apparently fighting in the middle of the street. This car must have been doing 90 miles an hour and just smashed into these 3 people. And I don't believe they even have the suspect in that car. Mainstream media is not going to talk about that, just like they're not going to talk about the majority of the mass shootings across the United States. It doesn't fit a narrative. Black on black crime is not something we hear about. There's something else that someone just sent to me about a football coach, a high school football or a little league football coach. I believe it was in Texas, although we can't find any evidence. We can't find any articles. Again, black on black crime doesn't make national news for some reason. But during a squabble between a football coach and other people and pushing and shoving, a guy pulled out a gun and executed this football coach while his teenage son, the quarterback on the team, watched as his dad bled to death. And we can't find a fucking news article on the damn thing. Not a single news article. Here's the thing, is I went to look up football coach shooting because I would figure, there wouldn't be that many. Do you know there's a football coach in America is almost dying every single weekend along with players? Oakland, California yesterday, you know what they asked? During a school board meeting, they said they need actual armed security there because they have so many shootings at their football games. Why do you think kids are going out and doing what they're doing all the time and shooting people and killing people all the time? Because they can't even play football without people shooting them. We talk about the little league baseball games where there's shootings, where all these kids pull up in cars and start shooting at each other. There's been like 7 of those this year. If mainstream media could stop talking about Trump and Mar-a-Lago for a fucking second and actually pay attention to what's going on in this country, it would be amazing. But they won't, because they don't care about black people. And I'll say that with 100% certainty. Mainstream media is the most racist organization. Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, they're all a bunch of racists. If not, they would actually cover the actual news. They would actually shed light on the fact that a black person has a 1 in 5 chance of being shot. That is outrageous. And nobody wants to talk about it. It's almost like, well, they're not us. And yet they go around marching down the streets and championing the lives of criminals. But yet the innocent victims, the innocent people across America, every single day that die, don't get any recognition. One bit. All these mass shootings, if you go to gunviolencearchive.org, Phoenix, Arizona, 1 person killed, 4 people injured. Baltimore, Maryland, 1 person killed, 3 people injured. Let's look at Baltimore, Maryland, right? Seven people were shot in Baltimore last night. 7 people were shot in Baltimore. Within 3 hours, 2 of the victims were killed. Police are investigating after 7 people were shot in Baltimore overnight in 3 separate shootings. On Saturday night at approximately 11:31 p.m., officers were called to the 1200 block of West Lombard Street in South Baltimore for reports of a shooting. Once at the scene, officers located an adult male suffering from gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead. They don't even bother to even say their name or anything or, descriptions, or they don't care. Mainstream media doesn't care. Medics pronounced him dead. Homicide detectives are asking people for information to call them. And then approximately at 1:02 a.m. this morning, patrol officers were called to the 3500 block of Old Frederick Road in southwest Baltimore for reports of a shooting. At the scene, the officers located a 39-year-old man suffering from apparent gunshot wounds. He was transported to the hospital where he's in stable condition. Officers also advised of a 35-year-old man suffering from apparent gunshot wounds seeking treatment at an area hospital. Both victims were shot in the 3500 block of Old Frederick Road. And then also on Sunday morning, this morning, police were able to confirm a shooting in the 5500 block of Hartford Road in northeast Baltimore at approximately 1:43 a.m. With approximately 4 victims. Officials say patrol officers were close enough to hear the discharging of the weapons while on routine patrol of the area. Officers canvassed the area and located victims in the 5100 block of Hartford Road suffering from gunshot wounds. An adult male was located suffering from an apparent gunshot wound to the torso. He was pronounced dead. An adult woman was located suffering from gunshot wounds to the head. She was transported to the area hospital with life-threatening injuries. And there were also 2 additional adult victims in area hospitals suffering from non-life-threatening injuries. Here's the thing that pisses me off the most, right? So these people are standing outside, and I don't know whether they're committing crimes or doing anything at all, right? But I will be 100% honest with you guys. 100% honest. And everybody knows, and I challenge anybody to try to argue this with me. If those victims were white, it would make national news. You know it would. So everyone that wants to go out and say the Republican Party or the conservatives are all racist and stuff, I'm a conservative. And this pisses me off because you know how you get to the bottom of these things? You know how you actually you draw attention to stuff. Look at the Black Lives Matter, all the people marching down the streets and rioting and all that, the billions and billions of dollars and aid that came in, all the laws that were changed, all the policies, the radicalization of schools and all that. Can you imagine if they actually used that type of street fortitude? I don't know. Like if they use that to actually try to solve something that does exist, and instead of, going out and repping for criminals, they actually go out and rep for the individuals, the little girls that are being shot and killed across the country, the little boys that are losing their moms and dads every single day, the grandparents that are losing their kids, or the parents that are losing their kids. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And you know what? I can rant about it, and I do it every single week, and nobody gives a fuck. Mainstream media doesn't talk about it. They did. CNN and Fox News and everybody, just for a couple of weeks earlier this year, or late last year, they all talked about the mass shootings every day. They all did it. Fox News would be like, you know how many shootings happened in Chicago? You know how many? I think 15 people were shot this weekend in Philadelphia. People are shot in D.C. all the time. Just this morning, a man crashed into the Capitol building barricades. His car burst on fire. He got out, shot a couple of rounds in the air, and executed himself while the Capitol Police were coming. Like, you hear about that. That made national news. A guy, that offs himself on the Capitol steps. You hear about that, but you don't hear about the mass shootings across the country every single day. Why? Why don't you hear about it? It pisses me off. Here's another one. Chicago, Illinois, this morning as well. 5 people shot, 1 fatally. In Auburn, Gresham, early Sunday morning, the shooting occurred in the 1800 block of West 78th Street. About 12:20 a.m., people were struck by gunfire. The offender may have been shooting from a vehicle. A 19-year-old woman was shot in the chest and arm and transported to a hospital where she was pronounced dead. Are they going to do vigils for that 19-year-old girl who lost her life because of senseless gun violence at 12 o'clock in the morning? Are they going to march up and down the streets with pictures of her on T-shirts and hats and posters saying enough for the gun violence? Enough? Is Lori, what the hell is her name? The moron that's in charge of that city. Is she going to get up there and talk? Beetlejuice, whatever the fuck her name is. I don't even care. Is she going to get up there and talk about the senseless gun violence that's taking place every day? No, what she does is she attacks the right. She attacks Republicans. There's a fucking fly in here. I need one of those salt guns so bad. Our door was open because we finally moved the rest of the cabinets and all the stuff from the trailer in this morning. But it pisses me off. It pisses me off so much because if Black lives really mattered as much as that everybody knows they do, if Black lives really mattered, why isn't there mass outrage right now? Why did all those rich white kids that live in their mom's basements go out and march down the streets and burn shit down and attack courthouses and attack police stations, but they're not doing the same thing about, career drug criminals and shit that are slinging dope on the side of the street corners, getting other kids to start selling dope and gangbang? Why isn't there that same shit? I don't know. It's just frustrating to me. It's frustrating. The Chicago one, you only may hear about the Chicago, person driving through the crowd of people fighting in the middle of the street because there's video. Otherwise, you wouldn't hear about it. And you guys know you wouldn't hear about it at all. That's why we do our mass shooting report every week, and we try to go. We can't even get through it now. There's too many fucking mass shootings. Too many mass shootings every single day. And it's annoying. North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina. 4 girls, 2 boys shot during a teen party at a nightclub. 6 teenagers were shot early Saturday morning after a fight broke out at a private party at a nightclub in Raleigh. All of the teenagers, 4 girls and 2 boys, are expected to survive. One of the teens was shot in the arm, and the bullet penetrated his lungs. Authorities say that gunfire erupted at Club Dreams on Paula Street after a fight. The fight spilled out into the parking lot where more shots were fired. Someone said their 14-year-old son was at the party on Friday night. She said most of the teenagers there were around the same age. You're talking about 14-year-olds that are being shot. Shouldn't that be enough to go out and champion enough of the senseless gun violence? Mainstream media should be outside of the club. Mainstream, not just the local journalists that go out there to get their little clips and then they come back out. And then they focus, in today's update on the FBI Mar-a-Lago search, I even heard Fox News today insinuating that Donald Trump was selling nuclear codes to Russia. I heard them put those words, like, what if he was doing this? These people are fucking nuts. They don't want you to know the truth. You know, these mainstream medias, whether it's Republican or Democrat, they don't want you to know the truth at all. I thought I saw someone in the door. Not the day to come to the store today. But it pisses me off. It's so much. It pisses me off so much. And even if Donald Trump was, for one, the guy's not going to sell shit. No one could afford whatever he wanted to sell because he'd be like, I have some very good intel. It's the best you've ever seen. Blah, blah, blah. Like the art of the, I don't fucking care. I don't care about any of this shit anymore. I really don't. You know what I want to do is I want an army of people going out knocking on doors and saying, hey, listen, this is why they're lying to you. Here's a folder. Here's a free book of all the lies this week. And we print out a new, maybe I should do that. And to start, maybe Citizen Stringer should be called, here's how mainstream lies every week. And just fact check mainstream media in real time, every single day, every single thing they say, everything. But then what do you do? Because then we're still not part of the problem. We're not helping any of these victims. We're not being indexed by Google. For some reason, they just refuse to index us. So we're not even getting web traffic enough to actually make a dent in anything that goes on. My videos are getting shadow banned and everything all the time. And all I want to do is tell the truth. All I want to do is say, look at the mass shootings that happen every week. Look at this, look at that. What is the difference between this and a white kid getting shot? Why does a white kid get more attention? And all the people, like you've heard black people say this for a long time. If a white girl gets kidnapped, it makes national news. But here's the thing, there's no outcry for it. The black people don't want to know about black crime, which is insane to me. It's insane, or at least we have that appearance because the mainstream media is not led by black people. It's led by white people. I want to bring a focus to the mass shootings, the real mass shootings, and the fact that a black person has a 1 in 5 chance of getting shot by another, or a black male has a 1 in 5 chance of getting shot by another black male. I want to bring that to the light and have everyone pay attention to that because maybe then, with enough national focus, it can change. It can change. Most of these mall shootings, a fucking mall is locked down right now because someone shot someone in a parking garage right now. And it's never ending. Mall shooting this, discharge guns in malls. Walmart, there was a shooting in a Walmart yesterday. It happens every fucking day. Or maybe that was this morning in a Walmart. It happens every day. And we're not hearing about those news. And that pisses me off. And we can't just do that. We can't just write about it 24/7 because it drives us nuts to do. And they just don't want they don't want the news. Someone said any videos from the Capitol attack this morning? No. And likely they'll stop talking about that too. We don't even have a suspect's name yet. Remember the last Capitol attack? No, and it wasn't January 6th, all you leftist morons. What were they? Oh, God. Nation of Islam supporters, or a singular Nation of Islam supporter attacked the Capitol, killed one Capitol police officer, severely injured the other before he was shot and killed. That was after January 6th. Mainstream media didn't talk about it at all. Sure, they talked about it until they saw CPR was being done on a black dude and they realized it wasn't the cops. Mainstream media shut the fuck up about it and stopped talking. Why? Because it didn't fit their narrative. They only report what they believe you need to hear, not what you actually need to hear. And unless we get some, independently wealthy person that says, here, Steve, here's $10 million. Go change the way news is reported. We're just going to keep doing it. And I'm not giving up. I'm frustrated because I spent, no joke, about 15 minutes trying to find, in any article about this high school football coach or little league football coach being killed in front of his teenage quarterback son on the middle of a football field. And I couldn't find it. And every minute I just kept getting madder and madder and madder because I would look and I'd be like, teen football shooting. Boom. Millions of them. Hundreds and hundreds of them all over social media because, well, they happen every single fucking weekend. I kept getting mad. People are like, oh, some pro ballers, brother was the one who shot. And then I look into the pro football, and this is a person that people, an idol. This is an idol, a pro football player who got shot in the leg this time, was arrested. His brother's a criminal, blah, blah. Fuck all these people. It's just so sad. It's so sad. And everyone's just going to focus on Mar-a-Lago. Like, didn't you see the new reports that came out? FBI issues new threat bulletin, or the Department of Justice issues new threat bulletin saying people are planning on attacking the FBI buildings. No, the only people that are talking about attacking the FBI buildings are, one, mentally challenged morons that aren't American or that shouldn't, wear the American flag because they're fucking scum, or leftists. The people on the left are the ones that are saying that the right is going to attack FBI buildings. Do I like the FBI? Fuck no. They lied. They need to be defunded. They need to be defunded. And what's the other one? Dissolved. That's what needs to happen because they're corrupt. They've become an arm to the left. And we all know that. Look at the Gretchen Whitmer, kidnapping botched bullshit plan. Look at everything else that's going on. Do I think FBI agents are solely responsible for that? No. But I don't understand why everybody right now is so focused on Trump. And the only thing it's doing, haven't you seen the new polls? Politico put out a new poll. Trump he's got a boost. He's got a boost. 3 out of 5 conservatives or 3 out of 5 surveyed voters would vote for Donald Trump. They support him. Which is the craziest thing in the world because that was the highest he's ever polled, even when he was president of the United States, even before he ran for president of the United States. He now has the highest polling because everybody could see that this Department of Justice is clearly just going after him. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And that's another point. Someone said, I thought the polls were garbage. That's what everybody always says. The polls are garbage. We don't believe the polls. The polls are bad. The polls are bad. Donald Trump's done that too. Well, there's shady poll, fake news poll, all this stuff. A good poll comes out and he's like, look at that. But in this case, he's right. A political poll, a political/Gallup poll of 2005 registered voters, 3 out of 5 registered voters all said that they would support Donald Trump now, which is the highest it's ever been because people see what's going on. It's just crazy, man. Someone said, you just said it, Steve. It's reported locally, but there's too much happening to report it countrywide. It doesn't divide the country. It would bring the country together. What? To report it? To actually be honest about it? It definitely would. You know what mainstream media should be? It should be segmented, right? This is what it should be doing, right? If I was in control of a news outlet, this is how I would run it. 5 o'clock in the morning, we cover East Coast shit. Right? 6 o'clock in the morning, we cover northern, whatever, the Midwest, right? 7 o'clock in the morning, we cover the Pacific Northwest, Texas border, national news, whatever. 7 o'clock in the morning, so it correlates with California, or 8 o'clock in the morning correlates with California, 5 o'clock. We focus on West Coast news. And that's the way I would do it. And every time and say, hey, you want to know your national news, you turn on the news at this certain time. That is what I would do. Because here's the thing, you can't not report on this stuff. You can't, because then people are they're like, oh, well, it's way worse in California. It's not. The same homelessness problems that California have, we have here in small towns. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. And that's the craziest thing ever, And guys, and everyone that wants to say it's 87,000 IRS agents, it's not. And I've said this a million times too. You are literally listening to the mainstream media lie to you. It's not. It's 87,000. It provides funding for 87,000 IRS employees. The agents are not the ones that fuck you over, guys. Like everyone's like, oh my God, cops with guns. Do you like to have your Second Amendment rights? Right? They're not going to add 87,000 FBI or IRS agents. They're going to add 87,000. Maybe they'll add 1,000 IRS agents, making it their total about 3,500 IRS agents. And then they'll add 70,000, what you call it? 70,000 auditors. They're the ones who actually fuck you over. Everyone's mad and saying, oh, IRS agents are going to have guns and they're taught to shoot to kill and blah, blah. You guys, you're buying into it. You're buying into it. Everyone should be outraged at the fact that the IRS now has funding for 87,000 new positions, regardless of what. I don't give a fuck if they're janitors. We have veterans that are sleeping outside of military bases now. We have, like, seriously, I don't give a shit what they are. I don't care what positions they are. That money should be reallocated to people that actually need it. The people that served our country valiantly. That's where that country should be allocated. Or that's where that money should be allocated. But they don't care. They don't care. Someone said the number came from Biden requesting 87. Again, he didn't, whatever, fuck it. Like, guys, I'm not getting into some stupid, because here's the thing. If you are just going to believe the hype that that everyone wants, why are you watching my show? Like, if you're going to believe, oh, Fox News said this and this is right and Steve has his facts wrong. No, I don't, actually. The reason why I will actually report the truth over Fox News, one, I don't have big corporate advertisers that I have to adhere to. And secondly, I don't fucking lie. It doesn't benefit me. Hold on, the camera fucking turned off, of course. You know? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so frustrating. And I'm sorry, this turned out to be what, a 30-minute rant? It's not necessarily what I wanted, but I guess it does work. Because people have to watch this. I want you guys to share this video. Like, if you're watching on YouTube, the second this video ends, I want you to comment and share it out. People have to understand that, listen, not all conservatives are batshit crazy. Not all people on the right are batshit crazy. In fact, I want people to start caring about what's happening to cities. These are Americans. The 19-year-old that was shot and killed, the teenagers that are shot and killed, those are Americans. Why don't we give a fuck about them? Why isn't it on national news every single day? The only reason Fox covered the rising crime one day in Chicago is because one of their employees' brother was killed in the violent crime. And they did this nice little thing, and he got up there and he was speaking and everything, and they covered it for one weekend, and then they stopped talking about it. Fox News this morning was insinuating that Donald Trump was trying to sell nuclear codes to Russia. I heard it myself on Fox News. They're giving the hyperbole. Like, what if he tried to do that? Okay, CNN. Everyone's like, oh, Tucker Carlson's on that network. Woo, yeah. I don't give a fuck. Because, and I don't know how Tucker Carlson's on that network or anybody else for that matter, when you have people that are lying to try to impress news. You don't give out hypotheticals when it comes to something like that. Because then people take it. Look what they did to every time Donald Trump spoke. They chopped it up, they clipped it out, and they fixed whatever they wanted, and then they presented that as him, as truth. Mainstream media is doing it, and they're doing it even worse by saying, what if he was selling the nuclear codes to Russia? I was like, are you kidding me? I couldn't even believe what I was hearing. Someone said, you heard it too, ridiculous. This is how they ruin people. Yeah, it's because Fox News doesn't want Donald Trump either. You know, Fox News doesn't even care. Trump is ratings. Don't you see them all on the prime time? They're going super hard. Jesse Waters, who I like. Tucker Carlson, although he's been on vacation all week. Sean Hannity, a scumbag, fake-ass Republican. And then who's the lady that's after? I forgot what her name is. But all of them all week have had astronomical ratings, right? Because they're doing this. Like, oh, outrage Mar-a-Lago, blah, 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 blah. Fucking A. Okay, here's the thing. The FBI fucked us. Just as Americans, they fucked us. We know that. Okay? How about you spend the time of your shows, your programming, interviewing candidates, interviewing people that are trying to change the country. Go into cities across the United States, do ride-alongs with their police departments, see what they face. Actually report the fucking news. But they won't do it. And I know I'm ranting. I'm not joking. Maybe I should just start like fucking, an equity raise or a fundraise or something. I don't know. Because we need millions and millions of dollars to do it ourselves. Because mainstream media is not going to do it. And anyone that wants to just sit and blindly listen to them, well, you're just blindly listening to them. It's sad, man. We deserve so much better. You know, the people in Baltimore deserve so much better. The people in Chicago, in Philly, in New York, in Seattle, in Denver, in all over the country. They all deserve so much better. And whether the left believes it or not, if you're here and you're an American, you are an American. And everybody should give a fuck about when they die. It shouldn't be because you're white or you're black or the offender is white or black. Or you lie as a politician or don't. I mean, all politicians lie. Get rid of qualified immunity for those fuckers and see how quickly they all leave office. Allow us to sue them when they lie. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. Anyway, I'm going to be in, where is it? I forgot. Morning View, Kentucky, September 20th at the, September 10th, Freedom Fest. September 10th, Morning View, Kentucky. It's from 4 to 10 p.m., although you can get there early. If you have a motorhome, you can come and you can arrive on the 9th. We will be there. Other speakers are Eric Trump, Candace Owens, Eric Dieters, Kimberly Guilfoyle, Seth Dillon, Jim Renazzi, and a bunch of other people as well. Fireworks, bouncy houses for the kids, balloon rides, apparently hot air balloons, fireworks. The Bikers for Trump are going to be there as well. A ton of other stuff. They do have food. You can bring beer or you can bring your own alcohol. They're not going to be serving it there. Likely they're going to have music. I did talk to the organizers yesterday. People were saying, asking in the chat, can you camp there? You know, you can bring motorhomes. And then they said, yes, they will allow some people to use tents to camp there the night before if you're coming from far away. Because I'm going to be there. I'll be set up. We're going to be giving away a ton of coffee. April does have a form set up, which she could put in the chat. What I would like you to do is if you are confirmed that you are going to come and you want to hang out, I would like to know who's going to be there because I'm going to make some little like gift thing for all the people that do show up there. And then we'll probably we'll coordinate. I'll send emails out and we'll bring food and just do like a good old cookout on the night before. And then we'll just experience people that give a fuck about our country. You know, maybe I will speak at this event. I don't want to, but maybe I could, you know, maybe if I get to all these people, you know, maybe mainstream media will be there just to get those clips, right? To get those clips, and maybe they'll play that, and that'll help people understand that not everyone is batshit crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Someone said, I really want you to speak at it. Maybe. Someone said, make rates high again. What are you talking about, freight rates? I had someone yesterday that called me and they're like, hey, man, I haven't talked to you in a long time since I had my big dispatch company years ago. And I was like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, thinking about getting back in the truck. And I said, don't do it. Go work for a company driver. Your record is clear. Go work as a company driver. You'll make more money. Someone say tent camping. Yeah, no, I'm bringing my motorhome. So I'll be there. I may even bring the big trailer, although I don't necessarily think we're going to need it. But I am going to, they told me I can print event shirts. So we'll have specialized shirts for that day for you guys to sell, price some other stuff as much as I can, you know. And if you guys want to support it, you can go to citizenstringer.com/support. You can go there and you can make a contribution directly to me. I'm just going to reinvest all that money and buy new shit, buy new shirts, buy a shit ton of coffee. I'm going with the more coffee than I've ever taken to one of these events. I think I'm even going to make a special roast called the Freedom Roast. That's just for that event. And then maybe we'll sell it after. But September 10th, Morning View, Kentucky. It's off Madison Pike. I actually have the flyer on my Facebook page. But I hope all you guys can come. I'll bring hot dogs. I'll bring burgers. I'll bring everything. So I hope you guys can come. And if you want to support us, if you want to support our news site, like if you agree that mainstream media is failing us and that America in itself is failing, consider contributing. Like we don't do it. Like I could plug our hats and shit right now. Go to Pure Truth Coffee, buy a mega box, but it's amazing. We still are. We opened up our September mega boxes early, but we didn't have enough to give a TV giveaway. So if we sell a bunch of those boxes today and tomorrow, we'll just do a massive giveaway for a 55er tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know. That was it. That's all I wanted to say. NASCAR is on in 35 minutes, so I told my wife I'd be home. We're gonna have appetizers or something like that. But if you wanna support what we're doing here as a news organization, go to citizenstringer.com/support. Please. I'm gonna type it in the chat for people. And do that, because that's just gonna be used to make shirts. That's just gonna be used to pay people here so we can keep doing this. And I tell you what, if you're super rich, contact me. I'll set up I'll switch. Should we switch Citizen Stringer to be a nonprofit? Because maybe that's what we'll do. And so you get a tax deductible donation for contributing, so we could still break the fucking news. Can you swear when you have a nonprofit? I don't know how that works. Here's the link if you want to support us. Because it's been, we don't get any airplay from YouTube or Facebook, so we're not getting stars or AdSense. This month, our AdSense from the YouTube videos is horrible. Horrible. Worst it's ever been. Even worse than the freight broker days, which doesn't make any sense because I still have a shit ton, millions of views every month. But for some reason, they're not monetizing any of my videos. But this isn't about me getting rich. I'm good. This is about me trying to figure out what the fuck is happening to our country. Someone said, no, you won't qualify, LOL. We could switch Citizen Stringer and make it a nonprofit. I don't know. Someone said NASCAR isn't even worth watching anymore. No, speak to yourself. Speak for yourself. I like it. That's one of the things I like the most about Sundays. And preseason football's on, but I'll be honest, I haven't watched it. I did watch the highlights. Patriots lost to Giants, but that's it. I don't really care. Someone said, if you have a nonprofit, you have to adhere to certain government guidelines. I think, yeah, no, you do. There's all sorts of stuff. I think it would have to be a 501c4, right? Because it wouldn't be a 501c3. I don't know. I don't know. And maybe I will do that. I don't know. Because my goal is just to report the fucking news, the honesty, the truth. That's all I want to do. I want people to be able to turn on the news or go to citizenstringer.com, and I would love it if there was some way to backdoor it. So it takes where you are, where you're looking from with your zip code, and it shows you your local news, your weather, everything automatically. That is the long-term goal, where you can go in, you can upload your own news to the platform. All that shit just takes a dramatic amount of money, and it sucks because I have so many great ideas on how to do it, but I don't have the money. Anyway, I'm going to go watch that race. I appreciate all you guys for being here. Please, again, like I said, like, share, subscribe, do all that shit on YouTube. Share these videos. If you're watching on Facebook, share the videos. Like that's the most important thing, is that you share them. But, all right. See you later. Bye. Fuck. I pressed the wrong button. Whatever. Bye.